All right, how do you get access to somebody's Apple account after they've passed away? So very common, most people have, a lot of people anyways, have an iTunes account, something in the cloud, some sort of Apple product where everything is stored again in the cloud. Most commonly, you're gonna have photos, videos, you might have documents, something like that. But when someone passes away, people wanna get access to it. So how do you do that? Well, the first thing to know is, at least as of filming this, there's no way to get the passcode to enter somebody's phone, right? Apple doesn't have that information, or at least that's what they've told us. They don't have the passcode to open up your phone. So if it's only on the phone, if the information that you want, maybe they didn't have everything backed up in the cloud, and you might not know that at the time, but if all they had was actually on the physical phone, and you want to get their password to the phone, as of right now, there's no way for us to do that. Apple says, we don't have that information. You set that password. That's not safe. We can't get that for you. So that's issue, just so you're aware of that. But if there is information on the cloud, we can get the password and access to all of that information, right? The thing is, we have to go to court to get it. So when somebody dies, even if there is a will, or even if there's a trust and it says I leave all the information, all my password, or all my information in the cloud, I want my spouse to have it, and you go call Apple's going to say, I'm sorry, we can't do anything, we need a court order. And so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hire a probate attorney. You're going to have to go to probate court. We're going to have to ask the court for an order instructing Apple to give you that information, and they'll do it, and the courts will sign it. We do this all the time. We just call, we file the probate, we get you named as the executor, we ask the court to instruct Apple to release this information, we send that order to Apple, and in a relatively short amount of time, they're going to give us that information, right? The challenge is, what if the person didn't have any other assets? What if he or she didn't have a house, didn't have a car, it's a young kid, something tragic happened, and they don't have really any money or any other reason to open a probate but for this? Well, that's where sometimes, it's going to be, there's a cost associated with it. And so sometimes a client might not feel, I don't want to spend a couple $1,000s or whatever the cost is just to get it. I'll just, I won't do anything about it. So understandable, right? But these are potentially, photos and memorable things that you might want to have. So there is the option to get that information. You'd have to go through probate and get a court order from the court to instruct Apple to do it. Very, very doable. What we suggest, though, is while you're still alive, hopefully you've done your estate plan, hopefully you've done your will, you've done your trust, something like that. And if you have, what we would say is put that information, put your Apple ID, your password in that with that packet, right? It's not going to go on the will or go on the trust, but just have maybe a list of important passwords and information, and you update it regularly. I know it's a little bit of a hassle, but it at least allows your family to get that information if and when the time comes. So write down that information, give it to someone, or let them know that you've written it down where it is, so that when the time comes, they have access to it. But if you haven't done that and a loved one's pass away, that's kind of the process. Open up a probate, get an order from the court, give it to Apple, and eventually they'll give you that information.